Hello, my name is Brett Weiss, and I want to talk to you about recycling. The major reason why recycling is such a big issue that is in 2010 the average American produced slightly over 4 pounds of trash every day, which roughly equals 250 million tons or 500 billion pounds of trash per year. It is not all bad news though. Americans recycled over 85 million tons of trash, more than a third of all of our trash. The Environmental Protection Agency says that those 85 million tons stopped 186 million metric tons of carbon dioxide from being emitted to the air. That would be the same thing as taking 36 million cars off the road for a year. However, the rest of the garbage is either sent to local landfills or incinerated. This is where the ethical issue lies. Is it right for us to dump our trash back into the ground that we live in and depend on it to survive? There are several benefits to recycling, but there are also some arguments against it. The benefits that are, it saves energy, it saves natural resources, helps our environment, and creates jobs. First of all, recycling saves energy and natural resources by reusing our products, not just throwing them away. For instance, recycling a used aluminum can and making it usable again is 20 times more efficient than producing a brand new can. Recycling aluminum cans is the most efficient product that you can recycle, but paper and glass are still efficient. I found mixed reviews on plastic. Another reason to recycle is the fact that it helps our environment. By recycling paper products, we are able to limit the amount of trees that need to be cut down to produce paper products. By saving trees, we are helping clean our air. Unlike when we put our trash into landfill and bury it in the ground that emits high levels of methane gas and pollutes the air. The methane gas is formed by bacterial decomposition that occurs when food and other organic wastes are broken down naturally. For people who live close to landfills, they are forced to deal with higher levels of polluted air, but also the horrible smell. If we were to recycle the organic waste, then we wouldn't have to be concerned about the methane emissions. It might not seem as it affects a lot of people, but there are over 300 active landfills in the U.S. and over 10,000 oil landfills. Many people also feel that the methane emissions and removal of natural resources are contributing to factors in global warming. They say that both contribute to the increasing dramatic change in temperatures. The last benefit of recycling that it creates over 1.1 million jobs throughout the U.S. However, the people that are against recycling is because it is not cost effective. It is not beneficial, and it says that landfills are not the problem, but the solution. Well, they do have an argument. Recycling programs tends to be 2 to 3 times more expensive than regular trash pickups per month. They also say that by sending around so many trucks to pick up the recyclable that they are contaminating the air, and it defeats the purpose of recycling. Not only does recycling on average cost more, but the government decided to spend an additional $8 billion taxpayer dollars on recycling efforts in 2007, and I assume that they have spent similar amounts in the last few years. They also argue that if recycling paper and plastic were so beneficial to recycle, it wouldn't make sense for people to get paid for it, because the people get paid to recycle aluminum cans, which they agree is beneficial to recycle. Another reason why people are against recycling is the fact that they are content with landfills. Landfills are quick, easy, and cheap. And over the years, they have started to reduce the amount of landfills and started making them bigger. It would only take over a 10-mile square landfill to hold our trash for the next century. They also started methane recovery at the number of the landfills so they can reuse the methane and prevent them from polluting the air. Once these landfills get filled, they can be turned into parks, golf courses, driving ranges. None of these things will hurt the environment. People also say that if we don't recycle, then there won't be as many trees left. Well, that really doesn't make sense, because the U.S. has 3 times as many trees as it did in 1920. Trees are renewable resources that will always have them, and the most of paper comes from tree farms anyway. In conclusion, I'm not going to justify $8 billion worth of government spending, but recycling is good for our environment, and recycling employs over 1 million people. The need to start reusing our products and reducing waste is bigger than ever with the continued global warming threat. But being a part of a younger generation, it is easy to see why people are taking more interest in technology and losing sight of how important nature actually is. Don't get me wrong, technology is great, but we need to start to think about what we're leaving for generations to come. Sure, it might be cheaper just to throw all our trash in the landfill, but it is not right to pile up all of our garbage there, bury it, and hope everything is okay. I definitely think recycling is a worthwhile process, and I think in the next years we will see a greater effort to recycle, and I think we will continue to make a more efficient recycling program. Ultimately, I don't even think recycling should be an ethical issue after finding all this information. The stakeholders of recycling are everyone, but most importantly for our future generations. This was my presentation on recycling. Thank you for your time.